Good afternoon, girls. Last time we talked about energy flow through the ecosystem, and we said that energy flow is transfer of energy from one trophic level to another and that it is unidirectional. We also said that the energy flows in an ecosystem from the producer level to the consumer level, and at each trophic level 80 to 90% of energy is lost by respiration and death. So the amount of energy decreases from the producer level to the consumer levels. Okay, so let us give an example of energy flow. We can give a first as energy flow in grassland community. In a grassland community, green plants trap maximum light energy. This energy gradually decreases towards the top consumer level as energy is lost through respiration and death. So when the food chain is short, the final consumers will get a large amount of energy, but when the food chain is long, the final consumer will get lesser amount of energy. We can take another example of energy flow in detritus food chain. So what is detritus? Is the dead organic matter derived from grazing food chain. We call it as detritus. So in detritus food chain, there are many organisms like algae, fungi, bacteria, protozoa, insects, etc. The detritus organisms decompose the organic matter and extract some energy from them and excrete the remainder in the form of more simple organic molecules. And then the waste of one organism is utilized by another organism, and still simple compounds like carbon dioxide, water, humus, etc. is formed. Next we go on to the ecological pyramids. So you know that the pyramid, when we think of the real pyramid, okay, you know that it is triangular in shape. So here with regard to ecological pyramids, also with regard to ecology, we can say that ecological pyramids are actually a graphical representation of the relationship between the different living organisms at different trophic levels in a food chain. And you'll be seeing that the pyramids, the shape of the actual pyramids, you'll be seeing that the base is the broadest, which will be covered by the primary consumers. And as you see you go up the trophic levels, you'll be finding that the size of the pyramid is also becomes less. So you'll be finding that the primary consumers will be the level it occupies will be less, whereas the secondary consumers, the level it occupies is even lesser. So there are different types of ecological pyramids. In fact, there are three types. We have the pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. So the first one is pyramid of number. So in this type of ecological pyramid, the number of organisms is considered. So the number of organisms in each trophic level is considered as a level in the pyramid. So the pyramid of number is usually upright. So if you look at the diagram, you can see the producers at the bottom of the pyramid, okay, they occupy the base, which has the largest size, as you can see. So the producers you'll be finding will be more in number. If you take a grassland community, for example, the number of producers will be more, so it will occupy the base of the pyramid. But as you go up the pyramid to the next trophic level, the primary consumers, if you take the grasshoppers for example, the grasshoppers will be less in number than the number of plants which are there in the grassland community. Okay, so definitely the primary consumers will occupy the lesser space, or the number will be less. Then when you go to the next trophic level in the pyramid of number, you can see the secondary consumers. Okay, for example, the birds, the number of birds that feed on the grasshoppers will be less. So in the same way, the tertiary consumers and all, as you go up the pyramids, you'll be finding this is a graphical representation also of the food chain, and you'll be seeing that the number will decrease as you go up the trophic level in a pyramid of number. To put it more definitely, the number of animals at the base of a food chain are relatively abundant, while those at the end are relatively few in number, and there is a progressive decrease between the two extremes, that is the base and tip of the pyramid. Next we have the pyramid of biomass. This is a graphical representation designed to show biomass at each trophic level in a given ecosystem. So in the pyramid of biomass, each level takes into account the amount of biomass or total weight produced by each trophic level. And the pyramid of biomass is upright. And if you take the first pyramid, where we talked about the pyramid of number, if you look at the base, okay, that means the producers, okay, the weight or the biomass of the grasses which are found in the grassland community will always be more than the biomass of the primary consumers or the grasshoppers that feed on the grasses. Okay, so the pyramid of biomass is upright. However, there are some exceptions. For example, the pyramid of biomass is upright except for that observed in aquatic ecosystems, where large number of zooplankton depend on relatively small number of phytoplanktons. Phytoplanktons are actually, if you look at the figure, you'll be seeing the phytoplanktons are the producers. Okay, so they will be the weight of the or the biomass of the phytoplanktons will be less than the zooplankton that feed on the phytoplankton. And then there will be the carnivorous fishes or other fishes or other animals that feed on the zooplankton. Okay, their biomass will definitely be large. So you'll be finding an inverted pyramid of biomass, okay, in an aquatic ecosystem. Next we have the pyramid of energy. The pyramid of energy is the same as the, you know, that it will always be upright. It will never be inverted. So pyramid of energy is the only type of ecological pyramid which is always upright, as the energy flow in a food chain is always unidirectional. So we already talked about the unidirectional flow of energy from the producers in the food chain, from the producers to the consumers, etc. Okay, so also with every increasing trophic level, some energy is lost into the environment through respiration and death. So you'll not always be finding that the amount of energy that goes from the producers to the consumers will never be the same. So you will definitely find that the amount of energy decreases, so it will form an upright pyramid. The producers utilize energy directly from sunlight and convert it into food. They form the first trophic level. The herbivores eat the plants and form the second trophic level or primary consumers, and the predators that feed on the herbivores form the third trophic level, and energy is passed from herbivores to predators. So this is that for the pyramid of number, biomass and energy. Now one small short answer questions this may come, these are small terminologies. Ecological succession. Okay, succession means change. Okay, so in what do you mean by ecological succession? So ecological succession is a process through which ecosystems tend to change over a period of time. For example, if you take an open area where there is no plant or anything, after some time you'll be finding that in that open area some small grasses will start to grow. Then later, after some months, you'll be finding it will turn into a grassland. Then after some months further, you'll be finding it will be changed into a shrubland. Small shrubs will grow there, and then it becomes, finally, trees will grow on it and it will form a forest. So in this ecological succession, there is always a tendency to reach the stable state at the end. That stable state of a grassland community in ecological succession is the forest ecosystem. Now, let us talk of some ecosystems which are found in India. Okay, so the first one is the forest ecosystem. Now, forests form a community of plants which consist of trees, shrubs, climbers and ground cover, and it is made up of abiotic parts, and the biotic part include the plants and animals which are found in the forest. The different types of forests found in India. Okay, forests in India can be broadly divided into coniferous forests and broad-leaved forests. Okay, coniferous forests are the needle-shaped leaved trees which are found in the coniferous forests, and broad-leaved forest consists of trees which have broad leaves. Now, if you take the coniferous forests grow in the Himalayan region where the temperatures are low, and then you'll be finding the tall stately trees which we see around us with needle-like leaves, which we call as the fir trees. And then we have the broad-leaved forests. They usually have large leaves of various shapes and are found in the middle to lower latitudes. Okay, and they include four types of broadleaf forests. They include the evergreen forest, deciduous, thorn and mangrove forests. The evergreen forests, they shed their leaves throughout the year. They shed very few leaves throughout the year, so they always look evergreen, and they are found in high rainfall areas of the Western Ghats, northeastern India and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And the deciduous forests, deciduous means when they shed their leaves during the winter and hot summer months, and they are found in regions with moderate amount of seasonal rainfall that lasts for only a few months. And an example of deciduous tree is the teak trees. Then you have the thorn forests. These are found in semi-arid regions of India, and they are also called xerophytic plants. They may have small leaves, or they may have thick waxy leaves, or they may have thorns to reduce water loss through transpiration. They may have long fibrous roots to enable them to reach water at great depths also. Then we have the mangrove forests. Mangrove forests grow along the coasts, especially in river deltas. Okay, so they are the plants which are found here are adapted to grow in a mixture of saline and fresh water. For example, the Sundarbans in India. So these plants that grow in this slushy marshy place, they have breathing roots that emerge from the mud banks, and these breathing roots are known as pneumatophores. Then we have the grassland ecosystems. The grasslands cover areas where rainfall is low and the soil quality is not good. Okay, and there are different types, in fact 4 types of grasslands in India. We have the Himalayan pasture belt, we have the Terai, the semi-arid plains, and we have the Shola grasslands. The Himalayan pasture belts are found in the high cold pastures of the Himalayas, and it will be found up to the snow line of the Himalayas. The snow line means above the snow line the snow never melts. So up to the snow line you'll be finding the pasture belt, where a large variety of grasses, herbs, flowering plants, medicinal plants, are found. So this area is very rich in the plant variety. Then we have the Tarai, which consists of tall grasslands. Then the semi-arid plains we have of Western India, Central India and the Deccan, and they are covered by grassland tracts, and we have patches of thorn forests because it is dry. Okay. Then there are the Shola grasslands, which consist of patches on hill slopes that are found along the Shola forest on the Western Ghats, the Nilgiri Hills and Annamalai ranges. Next are the desert ecosystem. Deserts and semi-arid areas are mainly located in Western India and the Deccan Plateau. The vegetation here again consists of shrubs, thorny trees such as kher and babul. We have cold deserts also found in Ladakh region. Then we have the aquatic ecosystems. The aquatic ecosystems comprise the freshwater ecosystems which are found in ponds, lakes, rivers and marine ecosystems. So we can divide the aquatic ecosystems into freshwater ecosystems and marine ecosystems. So under the freshwater ecosystems, we have the pond ecosystem, the lake ecosystem and the stream and river ecosystems. So in the pond, this is the simplest ecosystem. It consists of life forms such as algae and microscopic animals, aquatic insects, snails and worms. The vegetation consists of floating weeds and rooted vegetation. If you look at the lake ecosystem, it functions as a giant permanent pond. Okay, and you have more varieties of animals and plants like algae, herbivorous and carnivorous fishes, snails, etc. found in the lakes. Then we have the stream and river systems. These are the fresh water flowing through the streams and rivers, and the living forms are adapted in this rivers and streams to the rate of flow of the water. So they are adapted according to the rate of flow of water. And animals present in the streams and river water systems include the snails, burrowing animals, river beetles, etc. Sometimes you have, in fact, you have fishes like mahasher are also found here, and other varieties of fishes are also found in the freshwater ecosystems. And in the saltwater ecosystems, you have the marine ecosystems, seashore ecosystems and wetland ecosystems. In the marine ecosystems, the Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal constitute the marine ecosystems around peninsular India. The producers in this ecosystem differ from microscopic algae to large seaweed. There are millions of zooplankton and a large variety of invertebrates and vertebrates which are found in this ecosystem. And you yourself can name the varieties of invertebrates and vertebrates which are found in the marine ecosystem. Then we have the seashore ecosystems. The seashores are the beaches, which can be sandy, rocky, shell-covered or muddy. And here you'll be finding along the beaches, find different types of crustaceans. You'll be finding crabs that make holes in the sand. You have annelids like nereis, which are known as burrowing annelids. You have echinoderms like you have starfishes. You'll be having echinus and various other shorebirds which are found in the seashore ecosystems. Then we have the wetland ecosystems, which include marshes and swamps. So marshes and swamps make up the wetland ecosystems, and many people are dependent on the marshes and swamps and the produce of these marshes and swamps. So marshes and swamps are of great economic importance for people who live on their fish, crustaceans, the reeds and grasses, and other produce of the wetland ecosystem. So we have come to the end of this chapter on ecosystems. In the next class, I will start another chapter. So meet you all in the next class. For this class will be uploaded in YouTube. The link will be provided to you during your class hours. So you're supposed to click on the link and listen to this video class, and then you're supposed to write the notes of this class, and then on the button below the YouTube where it is written comment, please write your roll number. Only roll number will do. No need to write your name. If you write your roll number, we will know who you are and from which department. Okay, so thank you all everybody.